Welcome back. Today we will explore Google Sheets. It's a powerful tool to create tables, analyze data, and visualize information easily. I will start a new spreadsheet and add a title Student Grades Table. At the bottom, you can see the sheet tabs. These are pages inside the same file. You can rename, add, duplicate, and color them to stay organized. Let's rename the first tab to Grades and add a new tab called Summary. Let's create our first table. I'll enter the data for student names, age, and their grades. Now, let's format the table to make it more clear. I'll start by adding borders to all cells. Next, I'll change the background color of the header row and make the text bold. I'll also center the text in the header row so it looks neat. We can also adjust the size of the cells. For example, I'll change the width of the columns so the text fits better. Now, let's cover some basic functions. Starting with calculating the total score. Usually, all the formulas on Google Sheets start with equal sign, and then we write what we want. Example, sum. This adds up math, physics, and English. After getting the result of all the score, you can autofill them also for other students, or another way is by clicking to the formula, just drop it down and you can get the same result for other students as well. Next, let's find the average math score. I click an empty cell and type equal average. This gives us the average value for the math column. Now, let's see the highest English score. In an empty cell, I type equal max. We can see the maximum score here. Similarly, we can find the lowest physics score. I type equal mean and it shows the minimum value. And one more function. Let's count the number of the students in our table. I type equal count and then as you can see we have 0. It means that count we use it more for the numbers, just for cells, and as for the names and letters we use count A. So it tells us how many entries are in the name column. Let's move to sorting and filtering. Sorting helps us organize data in a clear way. For example, let's sort our table alphabetically by name from A to Z, from Z to A. Filtering allows us to see only the data we need. I go to the total column, choose filter view, set the condition to greater than 200 and apply it. Now, only the students with more than 200 points are visible. I can also save this filter view, exit, and reopen it later to quickly show the same results. Sometimes we may need quickly update the text across the entire spreadsheet. Instead of changing it manually in every cell, we can use the Find and Replace tool. Let's open it by going to Find. Here in the Find, we type Math, and in the Replace with box, I'll type Algebra. Now, I click on Replace All. As you can see, Math is now updated to Algebra. This saves a lot of time when working with large tables. Let's move to something more visual, conditional formatting. This feature helps us highlight important data automatically. First, I select total column, then I go to conditional formatting. On the right, a panel opens where I can create rules. For the first rule, I said if the value is the less than 200, the cell will be filled green. For the second rule, I said if the value is greater than or equal to 250, the cell will be filled yellow. Once I apply these rules, the cells update automatically and I can instantly see which students have very low or very high scores. This makes the table much easier to analyze. Now, let's make our table even more informative. I'll add a new column to classify each student's result. First, I right-click and choose Insert Column to the right. I quickly format the column so it matches the rest of the table and it doesn't stand out. Then, I name this new column Status. Next, I want to make it simple to select between only two options, pass or fail. To do that, I go to Insert, Drop Down. On the right side, a Settings panel appears. Here, I type the options Pass and Fail. I also assign them colors, green for Pass and red for Fail. After saving, each cell in the status column now has a small drop-down arrow. I can click it and quickly choose Pass or Fail for each student. This makes the table more organized and helps us clearly see which students passed and which failed. That's all for today's lecture. I hope this was useful, and in the next lecture we will go deeper into advanced features.